Hi everybody, I hope you are all well. I know it has been a while, but I had some other stuff to do, but now I will provide more content for my YouTube channel, which is Bitwig, and also my Patreon channel as an artist, Jana Brothers. So let's jump in. Today I'd like to talk about my latest sampler, which I created. And it's called the Amen sampler. Yeah, you guess what it is. It is basically a Bitwig sampler which is massively loaded with a lot of onboard effects. And I use the Amen break a lot, but I was kind of fed up with using the audio samples and chop it for each project. So I wanted to have one specific sampler which I can use for whatever tempo and bass music use case, so to say. So this is basically the sampler itself. I chopped it in 46 pieces. So if I play it, let's play it. Yeah, it's the notation as you know it. And if we have a quick look into the sampler, you can see it's just playing here. Like it is basically played in the beginning. And as you can see, I chopped it in 46 pieces and 46 slices. And while you are wondering why there is basically the same octave higher, this is all reversed. The reason for that is that Bitwig unfortunately cannot modulate the reverse button on the fly. So I solved the issue by just doubling it and every slice is on a higher octave in reverse, so I can play around with it. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. So, what I'm going to do is I just made some varieties and different patterns, as you can see. And so I'm going to play the patterns in the loop, and then I'll explain a little bit what I have done with the sampler. So the basic idea, as I said, is I want to quickly dial in the sampler when I want to use an Amen break. And regardless of the tempo, as you can see, I can change the tempo easily. So even for breaks or any other kind of bass music, it's super handy if I don't have to chop audio samples and have to take care about the tempo. So let's go back to, let's say, 168. And in the background you can listen already to the different kind of patterns I made. But let's quickly talk more about the sampler itself. So basically what I've done, I made some different kind of performance patterns, which is structured as performance, stutter, chorus, phaser, flanger, reverb, and some others. I will go into detail later on. So, but basically for the first performing pad, you can just choose the standard effects like reverb, flanger, phaser. Oh, no, that's the flanger. No, that's a pitch shifter. So, and also these buttons are related to what you choose here. So for example, currently it's just speed. So if I change it, it will change the speed of the repeat. If I change this, for example, to cycles, then I can change the format here. And if I change the textures, these two buttons are for the motion and grain size. So it's pretty handy to have the main performance features over here. You can of course map it to a MIDI button. So and now I'm going to show you the whole effects. By the way, you can also have the low pass filter here. I think I mapped it to the channel as well. Yeah, here. And then I have some audio effects which are in this huge chain, which I'm going to explain now. So basically this one is to imitate the old Amiga 16-bit kind of style. It reduces the bitrate downgrade to 60-bit and kind of have this crispy old school Amiga style Octave Pro Tracker sample frequency. If you want to have a listen. You can also dial it in on your taste. And so this is the next one. This is a transient, spectral transient pusher. I really like it because it's more like can emphasize the different kind of transients pretty nicely. Or go in between. So the next, by the way, the next one is just a widener, but I choose to have this just on the frequency which are above 150 kilohertz. So every time I use those kind of effects, I keep the bass more or less the way it is, or at least in mono, and widen from 150 kilohertz upwards. So that's the reason why it's in these multi-band effects chains. The same with, no, not the same with the EQ. You have a standard EQ here. You can change it on your taste at any time, of course. Then there's a couple of distortions going on. You see they are already activated. This one is quite a complex one. So if you open this chain, I created, basically inspired by Polarity's recreation of Trash 2. I created this kind of distortion module, which is pretty cool, I think. So here you can change the mix of the whole module, and the module, to explain it, consists out of this shaping, and the shaping behind each of these modules there's different shape of waveform distortion, and you can basically, when you dial it in, you can change between those distortions. Some are quite heavy, so, and of course you can change this by your taste at any time by redrawing them. Which is pretty nice, which is a pretty nice feature in Bitwig. And also, here's a convolution reverb which follows the envelope, the audio envelope. And you can change the distortion here at any time. And of course mix it in the way you want. So let me close this for the sake of overview. The next one, this is pretty nice because it's a random beat stutter, and once this is activated it creates random beat stutters. But I don't want to activate it here, I want to activate it here in my performance page. So if I go to the next page, or let me show you basically the whole overview. Sorry. So every module, every audio module, every effect module in the chain has its own performance page. So when you want to do live performing, you can easily switch between those pages and then activate and control and modulate in detail each model. So let's activate the stutter. So you see here, the stutter is activated from here. So some of the modules you have to turn on, which is exactly what's happening here. You see from the beginning, the performance one. If I activate, I can activate the chorus reverb from here. And then if you want to dial in or modulate more specifically in each model, you can choose the according page and then change the parameters. But normally you have one setting you like, so you can just activate it on the main performance page. So back to the beat stutter. The beat stutter is an effect grid, and you can also change the way it behaves here. You can just draw the way of stutter. Yeah, which is nice. So you can go crazy or very creative. Also, there's some randomness here, so you can also play around with the randomness. Then here are the models I showed you in the beginning. It's just the bread and butter chorus phaser flanger, and this one is just a filter. I think it's the Of course, everything is, you can modulate it, everything. This is the pitch shifting, which also creates this typical old school jungle-ish kind of effects. You can activate it here and of course here, but let's do it here. See, you have for each relevant module you have an accordingly one performance page, which makes sense, I think. Delay. Simple delay. Nothing too special about it. Reverb, ring modulation. I think it's also here. Yes, it's also here. Sweep filter. gate. The way that works is I create just a simple tool and modulating with a step sequencer the audio signal, and you can dial it in with this mix knob. You can create your own patterns. Yeah, you get the idea. And I think that's already it for the audio part. You have a peak filter. It's just not a peak filter, it's just a limiter at the end, and an oscilloscope, and the spectrum analyzer. Yeah, that's it. So let's go back to here. What you can see here is this has been all audio effects for manipulating, and this one, these just beside the stutter one. These are all note related effects which are here in here. And by these you can create some craziness, for example some octave randomness, and that recreates basically the beats on the fly, because it takes different notes also from an octave higher, which is then reversed. It's not working. Ah yeah, okay. For some reason this one is not... Ah, it is working. Okay. You see here are the random transposes related. By the way, you can always change the mode here and create your own randomness. This is the same for the pitch. Some ramping. Yeah, you can create a lot of crazy stuff with it. This is just ricocheting. Ah, weird. No. Here it is. I mean, these are just like modules and ideas. Of course, you can easily add your own modules in the node and like create like a representation of on the front side. But I wanted to have like the typical stuff, which makes sense to have it on the front panel in terms of fast access, so to say. So yeah, basically that's it. I think it's super handy, because at the end of the day it's just this little sampler here, and again you can dial it in a channel and easily use it, and so you can grab the sampler on my Patreon page alongside all those patterns. I definitely will also upload the project, so not only the sampler. And yeah, so have fun with it, get creative, and let me know in the comments what you think, or probably what you would like to add, or even show me your own creations. So thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye.